Trigger warnings for episode 18 include mycophobia, death, decay, body dysmorphia, emetophobia, PTSD, and memory loss. A list of the topics, themes, and subject matter featured in this episode can be found in the description. We return to the last Arcanist, below the graveyard in the village of Tulua. We see Thessalus within the tunnels that you all pass through holding Elanor. Her form no longer stone, flesh, warmth returning, now safe from the creature that had done this to her. We would see in a short distance behind within this tunnel, Hugo standing there as there is a quiet, that heartbeat that was in that tunnel before is now just a bit of wind moving through. Elanor, as you come back to in Thessalus' embrace, what do we see?
It's a moment of uncharacteristic weakness from Elanor that I don't think has been seen since the forest. It's genuine heartbreak and fear as her body trembles, similar to that of a dog that is terrified and horrified by its confines. And I don't think she's gripping or even has her arms wrapped around Thessalus. Her arms are tucked into her chest, and if she could, she would probably be curled in the fetal position if it wasn't for the absolute massive human that was keeping her up. And I don't even think she can bring her hands to move because they are so tensed and shaking. It's kind of like when your adrenaline kicks in because you're so excited or scared or nervous that you feel your hands tense and curl into almost claw-like shapes as she just kind of soundlessly weeps into him.
Thessalus, as you hold Elanor, is it simply just holding her? Is there anything Thessalus says, or?
I think it starts as a more kind of basic kind of arms around her. And as he kind of notices her shivering and those kind of soundless sobs, I think he's reminded of the way she held his face in the Whispering Woods when he was unconscious. And so kind of moves one hand to the side of her head and tries to kind of hold her the same way. And he'll just say, "Don't go where I can't protect you."
She just nods.
I think he'll remain holding her until she pulls away or someone else says something.
Yeah. I think as you hold Elanor, we push back from the two of you in the tunnel there. And I think as we do, the tunnels itself had this reflective mirror-like quality to it prior. But as we move back towards Hugo, we start to see that shimmer fade, that glamour fade. As we reach Hugo, watching this happening in this moment.
Hugo feels like they are interrupting a private moment. They're standing awkwardly, but they can't seem to look away from this show of emotion between the two of them. Hugo wasn't present to see during the woods. They had not seen the first moment with Elanor and Thessalus, but seeing this, there is a certain level of clarity and understanding that comes to Hugo in regards to these two individuals. And as it is part of their experience as a silent observer, they just quietly watch and they try not to interrupt.
Very sweet. So as Hugo quietly watches there, we continue to move backwards, pushing further down the tunnels till we reach the chamber where we would find the rest of your cohort. Róisín, Doc, Tegwin, Cordy, and the 11 other people that are in here. You see the orange Qatari that you talked to previously. He's helping people up, getting them moving. You see Tegwin doing the same as she starts to guide people towards the tunnel or towards the exit of this chamber to get them down the tunnel. Tegwin stops next to Róisín, and she places a hand on his arm. I have a question for you, Róisín. Is your glamour up on your mark?
Yep.
Cool. Tegwin's eyes flash white. And she looks at you. She looks at your arm. She does not say anything to you in this moment. But I think it's easy enough to tell that a conversation will be happening as she continues to move people out.
Oh boy. That's gonna be fun to deal with.
So as she starts to move people out here, you see the Qatari again. You see a human woman, a gnome woman, a half-elf woman, a halfling man, kind of a human, a bit androgynous in their appearance. You see a faun, a dwarf, a goblin, an infernus, and a human all following out in this moment. What's Cordy and Doc up to as you stand here in this chamber, as you see these people start to march out?
I think Cordy actually, we see him like take out a small vial of some kind of liquid that's sloshing around in there, and he like grabs a mushroom from his pack and he like breaks it and puts the pieces into the vial and lets them like sizzle in there, and he walks towards where Elanor is, and he brings it, and Cordy does not have the social skills to, not interrupt a moment. So he just walks up and he says, here, antidote for rigor mortis. Don't know if it will help now, but...
Rigor mortis?
Elanor, his eye watches always. Don't let him see you weak. Up.
Elanor is going to turn in what can only be described as a Jim from The Office kind of a turn. Here is an antidote for rigor mortis. Only me to then kind of like soften at the actual, what I assume to be comfort from Cordy in the his eye is always watching, and she brushes off her face and just kind of weakly gives a little bit of a smile before taking the antidote. And I think in an attempt to make everybody else feel better is going to drink the antidote, even though she's not stoned anymore.
What does it taste like, Cordy?
Oh,
I need to know.
Oh man, it's funny because I was literally about to ask Elanor what it tastes like.
Oh.
The police gonna come get you.
Yeah, everybody knew one. Let's see.
So it's like mushrooms, right?
Well, there was some kind of liquid. He broke a mushroom into it, and it sizzled when it hit there. So spicy. I'm gonna say a little spicy.
Spicy?
I feel like it's like building off of that, it's like a spicy sort of mushroom stroganoff kind of a consistency and flavor.
Consistency and flavor?
Yeah,
It's so thick.
That's some viscous ass.
Well, rigor mortis is pretty rigorous if you think about it. So you kind of need something thick to like break it.
Oh my god!
Wild concoction.
Oh,
Does anything happen to me? Am I good, or should I mark a HP slot? Like I
don't think this had any mechanical use.
it just was.
Out of all of
totally.
us, you were the
placebo.
most safe, actually.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So as you hand that over to Elanor, what do we find Doc Yara
I
doing
think-
here?
Doc fully is no longer down there.
Oh, you beeline
I
it?
think Doc had the amount of restraint to get through the combat and like show face a little bit afterwards, and then once everyone sort of split off, Doc fully just wandered up the stairs out of the I guess tomb area. I guess this is what this is.
Yeah, because you
Sure.
you went down into
Yeah.
basically a grave was dug and there was a tunnel
Yeah.
in that grave that you Mhm.
And so Doc has fully climbed out and made their way over to the 4 gravestones.
Yeah. Because Doc is so focused on that, I won't describe what else is going on right now, so we'll get to that in a second. I think as Doc beelines it towards the tombstones, you would see the 4 there. Zahara, your mother, Zuri, and Kamara, your sisters, and Yara. At least the name you had from that memory. I mean, as Doc stands there, what would we see Doc doing as you kind of take all this in?
Doc is first just looking at them, just taking like a moment of silence essentially, and then I think the next thing that Doc is doing is looking to see if it feels like or like it looks like anyone has visited the site recently.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a instinct roll for
Okay.
me.
First roll.
Yeah.
Something deeply upsetting. Okay. So that's instinct. That's going to be a 13 with hope.
With hope. Awesome. As you look at the area, there is an indentation in the ground. It's hard to find at first, but I think you would see the same footprint. Taking a moment and kneeling down, you would see a footprint, and then like where essentially someone kneeled down next to the grave, you would see the earth there where the knee would be pushed down into it. The footprint itself is quite big, I would say, and as you kind of look at that there, you would then see those footprints heading towards the river that stretches around Talua.
I'm following the footprints for sure.
Okay. I think as you follow the footprints there, you would see, kind of as you move along towards the river, there would be a familiar boulder, and you would see those footprints leading up to it. And I think you would see, once you get to that boulder, it looks like someone took something and carved a small little image into the stone. You could tell that whoever this figure was, has a strength to them, as they have dug out pieces of this boulder with relative ease. You see flecks of dust and debris from where they carved it out. And you would see an image. It's not super detailed, but you would see like images of little fireflies on it. And you would see almost like a silhouette version of a family standing there. No faces or anything. It's simply just the bodies, and there are 5 figures standing in that carved out visual on the boulder there.
I think I taken the image carved into the boulder. Obviously, it's a boulder, so I can't take it with me.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely a second where Yara's like, I should take the boulder, but then like stronger minds prevail, and it's like, I can't take the boulder. So I think at this point, I think Doc is going to look for like if they can see like flowers anywhere nearby.
Yeah. As you kind of look along the river there, you would see some there's not a ton. There are a few flowers growing. Not the hermaculeum that you would have seen along the river in the past. It's not that. Mm-hmm. You would see a flower that only grew here at specific times of year. It would be this beautiful midnight blue dahlia. All of these geometric dahlias are, if anybody knows what a dahlia is, it's a very intricate flower. And you see there are a few of those bloom, but you also notice that there are ones that near some of the bloomed ones that are just rotted and decayed, as if, and you would see those footprints kneeling down towards those, and upon like touching it, destroyed it.
Got it. Then can I find at least 5 of the dahlias that are not decayed?
Yeah, you absolutely can. Yeah.
Then I think I'm gonna pick 5 flowers and lay one at each of the tombstones.
Okay. I think as you go back to your tombstones, you would see the birth date and the death date of everyone. The death date is the same for Yara, for Zuri and Kamara. Different birth dates. But then I think as Doc goes to place the flower on Zahara's tombstone, you would notice the death date is the same day that Yara was born.
Sorry, I saw Angie. I am so sorry I made this character.
And
What do you mean?
I think, Doc, in that moment, there's like a spark in your mind. The only visual you have of your mother is that drawing that Cordy found for you. But you place the flowers. They're beautiful. And I think, is there anything else Doc does in that moment?
No, I think Doc just sort of sits there waiting for the rest of the party to finish down below.
Yeah. I think as you sit there, you would see Tegwin and the 11 people walk out. And as they do, the rest of you kind of following behind in whatever order that may be. As you come out of the grave, you would notice above where the Gloom Peak Seers are, that maelstrom that was there before is pulsing with more energy. You see swirls of purples and greens and silvers and multicolored lightning shooting across the sky, and it almost pulses like a beating drum at points as the energy is swelling. It almost looks like reality is being torn itself above in the sky as you walk out. But as you do, you all would see, those kind of looking around would see Doc over by these graves as you come up to join. I think as you all kind of come up here, I think Tegwin would stop you all and say, we should get these people into some shelter. I think we all need to have a talk and figure out what we do next. And when you're ready, meet me in Yara's old house. That's where I'm going to bring them for now. She looks over and sees Doc. I know I keep jumping between names, but that's just what I'm doing. She looks over and sees Doc. Yeah, she looks over and sees Doc, and I think just gives them space. But Tegwin would leave you all there in that moment as she leads these people to a spot of safety, if you want to call it that, in this moment.
I think Hugo would approach Doc. They're standing over there.
Doc will look up at you and go, "Hi."
They look at the names and they see Yara's name. And they look down at the expressionless face. How are you feeling?
I don't know quite what I'm feeling at this moment. It's a bit strange. It was already strange enough to come upon where I used to live, and then we got here, and the first thing I saw was these graves, and it's strange seeing a grave that belongs to someone that you love. And it's a little bit stranger to see your own grave.
I think Hugo nods and I know prestidigitation doesn't work the same as how it does in D&D, but if allowed, I think they would use this, subtle type of magic to essentially clean away and clear out any any rot, any sort of mold, anything that makes the graves look dilapidated or anything. And just kind of like the girl on TikTok that goes to graves and just cleans them, right?
Not clean talk.
Yeah. No, I'm cool you utilizing it for that. That's totally fine. Yeah.
I almost said Doc smiled, but like internally, Doc smiles, seeing you clean the graves and looks up and goes, "Thank you."
I think sometimes I can only assume that graves are the last thing that we have. I can only imagine that keeping them tidy is important for the memory.
I guess so. I never thought about it that way. Then again, I never thought I'd be looking at my own grave. So, how are you feeling? I know this has been a particularly distraught day.
It has, but there's no need for you to concern yourselves with me, Doc. We should head back to the house.
Doc will stand up, hug Hugo before heading back to the house, and will turn back and say, "We all have to concern ourselves with someone."
Thank you very much.
Tip of the hat. You're much obliged.
Hugo tips their hat too. Now we're just tipping each other's hats just back and forth as we're walking.
Yeah. Awesome. So the two of you head back over to Yara's, back to the house over there. And yeah, I think as you all head
Can
back.
we see the carving that was in the stone?
Oh, the same one that Doc saw?
Yeah, the one with Doc's family.
So, well, you would absolutely see the tombstones. I would say the boulder is over by the river, so that's a little bit further away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, you would absolutely see like the two of them. You would see Hugo prestidigitating the graves there to clean them up to the best of their ability. And but yeah, that would be off in the distance. The marking on the boulder. Yeah. Cool. So, as you all kind of walk back there, you would see as you walk into the house, the rest of the individuals that you saved essentially from that situation that they were in. You would see a couple of them have found some kindling and are starting a small little fire to just have some warmth in the house. And you would see Tegwin handing out, she'd have a satchel on her side, she'd be handing out like rations and things to make sure people are all taken care of, and some sweets, some like dried fruits, a little bit of sweetness kind of to help with the shock there.
Bless you.
Bless you.
And I think as you all start to walk in, Tegwin would just give a quick look at everyone, and she would say, I know some of you are hurt and have gone through an event, multiple of you, in various ways, but a conversation needs to be had, and I'd like to do it just as our collective here.
Okay. Where would you like to have
Do you
it?
need, do you need help with those we rescued before we saw?
Conversation is about them.
Right.
Where should we have this conversation?
I think I saw like a small, there's a backyard, so we can head out. I think there's a little work shed out back that I saw.
There is.
All right. And yeah, I think, she would just walk out there And once you all kind of gathered, she would turn around and she would say, so we obviously need to figure out what to do with these people. I have a few ideas, but I'm also open to suggestions on what we should do. I believe them staying here is probably not the safest, considering, and she doesn't look up, but you see she kind of motions upward, and she says, and I believe Ocularis has a bit more of their eyes on this location, as she looks to Róisín.
Yeah, I do suppose the absolute maelstrom of nonsense above us is a wee bit worrisome.
Yes, I'm sure that's all it is.
Can I do an insight check, vibe check?
You can
I
instinct.
Want to do a vibe check.
You can instinct him. Yeah.
No, you're not getting away from me, sister. That is, let's see, 9 plus 3 is 12 plus, what is that?
Instinct?
13 with, let me see, I think I have something. It's been a hot minute since I played this game, y'all. Okay. Can I use, I have no hope, so never mind. That is a 13 with hope.
With hope. Okay. Cool. So you get a hope from that.
Yay.
I think, I guess, what are vibe check in the sense of just like where...
It's... I mean, listen, I don't trust Tegwin. We know this.
Yeah.
I think we also know that Elanor is not, or rather, Róisín is not on Eleanor's favorite person list right now. So I think she's just like highly suspicious of both of them. And so she's trying to dissect what exactly Tegwin is saying by looking at Róisín as she says that.
Yeah, I think Elanor would be able to pick up with the 13 that Tegwin, there were choices that were made. I think she's looking at Róisín in a way of like, some of this is, their eyes are on us because you did some stuff.
Okay.
She's like, it's more from like a place of, it's already such a fragile thing, the world, and like, you know, being watched all the time, and now it's like to have more of that focus on. She's just a little, you know, upset.
I am angry and disappointed.
I think you should have lied better.
I don't think she's trying to lie in this moment. I think she's trying to out you. So with that being said...
She's being polite about it.
Elanor will not be.
Manners are lying. Just the polite way of doing it.
So are we going to continue to talk in riddles, or are we just going to spit out the point? As much as I love giving glares to people who deserve it, I'd rather know the full information of everything.
Doc fully goes over their beak.
I think Tegwin looks over at Róisín and just says, Róisín made a choice to defy Ocularis, which I can understand that.
Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing?
As a
Well,
what?
she's gonna walk over to Róisín and she's gonna place her hand on his arm. And she's essentially gonna do the equivalent of dispelling your glamour.
Well, thank goodness I decided to actually wear clothes today. Else this would be awkward.
Are you usually naked? You just have glamour up?
I mean, it's very convenient. But not all the time, no.
All right, that's a whole nother conversation.
That is a whole other conversation.
she looks at Róisín and she says, and to the rest of you, this is a mark of Ocularis. This means that if we run into Tenebris, Róisín is going to be more susceptible to being attacked by them.
I've
They're
seen
going
it.
to focus their attention on him.
How long have you had that?
It wasn't as bad, but it started whenever I began shepherding the souls over to the shores of Sonova. Back in... What's the name of it again? The town
Maruk
said-
Outpost?
The Maruk Outpost, that would be it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful.
Are you saying that Róisín did something wrong?
Well, he put himself
I
in
did
danger.
something right, technically.
We're all in
just
danger.
With...
Didn't you push us in danger by
consequences.
reviving us?
I suppose so.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, resistance has consequences.
True.
Now, how do we get rid of it? You should have told us.
You should have told me.
Yes, that's a
And I
better
thought we were
question.
supposed
is
to
to
save
point out.
people. I thought that was the whole conversation we had.
A better
Ah.
question is to point out that it wasn't told to us and it was being made to be kept from us until Tegwin made it clear to us.
I have to
Well, I was
agree.
going to approach Doc about it, but things got rather complicated lately.
They did. But now we know. And we'll figure it out. Right?
Yes, we'll figure it out. She lets go. The glamour comes back. And she says, but right now, the main priority is we need to make sure that we can get these people to safety. I don't necessarily think keeping them here is the right thing to do, but I also don't think sending them off on their own back to the Maruk outpost is safe either.
Well, can't we send a message to somebody else there to come and get them?
We could.
I also think we're missing a wee bit of a more obvious solution. We can
Which
just send
is-
them into the woods, where
No,
our lovely new friend is waiting.
that's
Would
not.
they be protected there?
Our newly revived dreamily friend.
That's true. That's not a bad idea.
I have
Didn't
an
go so well
idea.
for us.
Just, sensing tensions are a little bit high at the moment. And Tegwin, I adore you personally. Perhaps you can shepherd them to safety. And then once we finish our mission where we're going, we meet back up in a
Mhm.
midway point.
No, that was one of the things. That's a good suggestion. I was going to offer that.
I think
Alternatively,
yes.
it would be an experiment. But if you're willing to help, perhaps we can get them there and continue on our way.
With the thing that we did in the... Well, not we, you, when you popped up behind me.
Something like it. It would
Can
be a
you do
large
that?
undertaking.
Can you
The
do that on a
Arcanist.
massive scale?
I feel in my bones that I have.
We're going based off of a feeling in your bones.
All magic is essentially a feeling.
I don't
And
have
I believe in
bones.
Cordelis.
Yeah, for me, my magic is more like... She just vaguely gestures to nature.
I was
And
just
it's
taking
not
you
a
guys' word
sensation,
for it.
just a whole bunch of them. All at once.
So how long do you think it would take for you to complete this? We are on a bit of a time clock.
I agree. That's why I feel as though transporting them instantly somehow would be very time efficient. It's getting us ready for that, which would... We'd need to construct a gate, and I don't know.
I have plenty of faith in you, Cordy, because I've seen you firsthand do this, which, again, was horrifying. Please never do that to me in battle ever again. I don't know if now is the time to test it on people who have been through what they have been through.
I agree.
What exactly would you need?
Well, I'd need certain fungi and other arcane materials in order to construct the gate, and perhaps it's all too much. You're right. Perhaps not the time or place.
We could certainly
Well-
still experiment.
If you are in need of materials, we do have the dead body of an ancient arcane being at our disposal.
That we do.
That feels inhumane to me.
She just died.
Listen,
Yeah.
we all know that I'm usually number one when it comes to getting revenge on people who have harmed us. However,
We are also discussing all of this without keeping in mind that we shouldn't assume that the people would be interested or consenting to experiments on them.
That's very true.
let alone are in the emotional place to even move yet.
All right.
I think it's best if Taegwin takes them either to where we came from or to the woods, and then we can meet back up with Taegwin, and then perhaps we're all in a better place mentally and emotionally to be together. Because I'm sensing there's a lot of tension.
I like that
Honestly,
idea. I do think
this
that
might be the best choice for them. It
yes,
would be the most familiar of personages to be around,
I think
given their history.
given this, I would like to experiment more, perhaps with you all, on this topic. That way, something like this, if it comes up again, could be prepared, rather than it being an experiment.
Maybe we could just teleport Taegwin back when the time is right and try it out with her.
Okay, Elanor, that was uncalled for.
Did she not do the same thing to a bunch of other people? I mean, remember, there had to be multiple other experiments in order to come to us.
This is not untrue.
A
Just
means
for
to an
time, so-
end.
I'm not saying this because I want something bad to happen to Taegwin.
Nobody's.
I'm saying
Who is still in the room with us, if I remember correctly.
Saying the quiet part out loud.
I'm
Thank
saying
you very
this.
much.
Hold on. I'm saying this. You're making me laugh. That's why I'm smiling. No, I'm saying this because who better to handle it than an Arcanist?
I think I'll. Hugo. Oh, sorry. No. Wrong. Cordy. Buster.
Wrong mushrooms.
Wow.
Whoa. Cordy. I will help you with your experiment, and you can help me heal whatever this mark is on Róisín.
Yes, we're going to need to study that as well.
I can find you mushrooms.
If you need a
yes.
subject for testing,
No,
I'm around.
no. We have one already.
Well, we can't lose the Arcanist.
Why are you all so sure that people would die doing this? Didn't Cordy just say that there were people from another place that were able to do it?
But we could get lost somewhere.
The
Left between-
theoreticals of you could get thrown off course. You could get ripped apart molecule by molecule. There's many things that could happen.
Well,
In all fairness, it looked quite well the first time you did it.
the
But it's been a wee
first
bit.
one is more.
Small durations.
The first one
like
I
that's
could handle
2
because
centuries ago, but
I mean the first one I could handle because I rarely get lost. But you lost me at the science stuff. Sorry.
Theoretically,
We'll
you
get
could
there.
even get teleported into the middle of the ocean.
I feel
Possible.
we're getting off course.
We are.
So, I can bring them to the woods, to Orinthus. I think that's a good spot. Round trip time. I mean, we pushed ourselves. This is going to be a group of people that have been through a lot. It's going to take me probably to even rendezvous with you all. It'll be about 15 days. That's if I made it come back here.
Is that if you made the full trip to the outpost or to the woods?
No, to the outpost would be more. It would be double that.
Do we need your magic for whatever domain those people are creating?
No, you don't. You all are capable. You can handle it.
Right.
Well, if it takes 15 days, if you can either start heading straight to where we're going, or we can meet back here.
Right.
We do have to come back here anyway, don't we?
Probably.
We promised to
Go.
and check in Róisín's aunt.
Yes.
That's in a separate direction.
Yes.
But that's when we come back.
That's
I
right by the
suppose, yeah,
forest.
that would
I
be back
believe.
towards the woods.
Well, I don't know how everyone is feeling. I want to at least give these people a night of rest before I make them travel across a vast expanse to the woods.
If we have time, I could probably see if I can hunt down some game. I'll need protein in order to make this trek.
Oh, yes. She nods and she says, I have a decent amount of food. But that could be good, especially a lot of them, the state they are. That could just benefit them further. All right, well, that's really all I have. I just wanted to discuss that with you all. And if anyone has anything else from me that they need, you can find me. I'm going to go make some plans and inform them. Thanks. She turns around and she says, she just kind of looks over her shoulder. Róisín, could I speak with you for a moment alone?
Of course.
Haven't we had enough secrets today?
Does Cordy say...
Fret not, dear Cordelius. I'll be nice and safe, and on my best behavior.
All right.
Róisín, you follow?
Yep.
Okay. I think she just walks away from the area. And we'll say this out loud right now. She turns around to Róisín and she says to him, I don't know exactly what you said to your grandmother. I do not know the Lenon-Shi language. But I do know what that marking means. And I'm sorry I exposed you like that. But it's important for them to know. There's too much at stake, Róisín. And I can't lose you. Because if I lose you, then...
Don't worry. This little nonsense won't get in the way of our plans. Even should the worst come to pass, I have everything figured out. Nothing for you to worry about.
She walks over
This
to him.
was a necessary evil, but not one that was unaccounted for. And a necessary burden that I am more than willing to bear.
Very well. Róisín, I need to ask you a question. I need you to answer me truthfully. I know you will, but I had to say that. If we run into another one of your relatives, are you going to do the same thing?
And what do you mean by same thing?
She points to your arm. Do whatever you did to make more of that happen?
I will, although hopefully we could do it without the marking this time. It's only on occasion that sending the souls over has repercussions.
She nods. I think she walks over to him, and she, if he'll allow it, will take his hands in hers. And she'll look at him, and she'll say, I'm sorry for acting as I did back there. I'll make sure to go in and, well, I don't know if they'll take what I say seriously, but just, and she's not making eye contact, but she says, just remember what we talked about. And if this doesn't, if things don't work out the way, well, they'll work out the way they need to, I suppose. Fate is an interesting thing, but just be careful, all right? Don't die on me while I'm gone. She rips off her prism and she hands it to you.
Oh, this is a wee bit early.
Well, it's better that you all have it, so if I die on the way back, you have what you need to fix this world. Or at least part of it.
I will take it in my hands and press it back into hers. That was not the terms of our arrangement. Keep it. I swore an oath, and by that I am bound. And not even Ocularis himself can stop it from coming to pass. The only one we should be worried about is you. You're not bound such as I. So keep yourself safe.
Of course. All right. I've kept you long enough. And she would, yeah. I think she would just give him, she would take it back, she'd put it on, and she would walk away.
Tread carefully, Master Arcanist.
She
You
does
have very
not.
important matters to see to in the future.
She nods. As we kind of pivot away from Róisín in that moment, what is the rest of the group up to here?
Look, what I've been saying is that we've been following the Arcanist this entire time. And now we're going to be on our own for a bit. And I think we need to choose a direction because we've got a few threads open.
I thought we were heading to stop the new domain.
Right.
Has that changed?
Yes. But after, we have to deal with this mark. We've also got to deal with these titans, the bodies of these titans you've told me about. I feel like there's so much going on, and I feel like I've been looking over my shoulder. I can feel his eye on us.
It's only going to get worse.
I know.
I was informed that there's a very good chance, and I feel it's been confirmed with Verenthar, that people from our past, in order to survive, made deals with Ocularis. That's also something that we are going to have to deal with as we continue.
Yes, he's another one. There's something loose in the web that eventually we'll have to face.
Is it possible that we continue to head north to deal with this new domain? Then when we regroup with Tegwin, we decide our next steps?
Well, of course, but I guess what I'm suggesting is
not regrouping with her.
If we decide on a different path. I know you'd be for that.
I actually
and that's not
wouldn't
to say I don't trust the Arcanist. It's just to say there's a lot going on.
I feel really bad for her. I think we've been a little too harsh on her. I think she's just trying her best.
Again, I am not casting doubt on the Arcanist. I don't. There's just a lot going on, and if we're as capable as she says, then perhaps more hands in more places. I don't know.
I'm somewhat torn between feeling that, having been brought back from death, my only real purpose at this point is to do whatever I was brought back for. And my own sense of what's right and what I think we should do. I'm not against the idea of trusting our own instincts. But I agree that the Arcanist may be doing her best. But if that's not enough, we might have to fill in the gaps.
Yes, and I think that's more so what I'm getting at as well.
Hugo, how do you feel?
I'm going to say that Hugo is not in this conversation. He's actually not in the workshop currently.
Hugo.
Oh.
Is our mental connected, or did it get severed when I turned to stone?
It got severed.
Rats.
Well,
Well, perhaps we can get their opinion later.
yes, and also with Róisín, though it feels as though we don't fully trust Róisín either at this point. Who do we trust?
We promised Róisín that we would come back here to take care of his aunt.
Yes, we did, and we should do that, please.
Well, and I feel as so doing so, that means coming back and picking up Tegwin, regardless of my feelings of her. She is more knowledgeable than any of us on any of this. Don't take my criticisms of her as a distrust towards her.
Hey.
I don't like her.
Hey.
But that doesn't mean I don't trust her. You cannot like someone and trust Exactly.
I don't know. At times it feels like a bit of both. At times it feels like a heavy dislike and distrust of everything she's got going on.
In my defense,
Like, dislike, trust, not trust, none of it matters anymore. We have a man, or whatever that thing is, looking down at us from the sky at all moments, and we need to do something about it. So, this dread domain, we will destroy it, and after that, we will decide what comes next. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Well, maybe we should go to bed. Maybe find Hugo.
Yes, where did he run off to?
Yes.
Can I do some sort of ranger tracking thing?
I'll let you do that in a second here.
Okay.
I'm gonna say where would have Hugo have gone off to in that moment, and then we'll circle back to that.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
mid-conversation before Tegwin and Róisín even left. I think Hugo would have stepped out. They got to the point in the conversation where they didn't think anything that they would say would really even matter.
Hmm.
And so, Kylie, when you first showed us Yara's home on a map,
Mm-hmm.
there was a small field on the bottom right corner of the map,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a scarecrow there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hugo would have walked over there,
Okay.
and in this sort of quiet silence, this strange and dreadful silence of this place, even with the sound of the people from the house, there is this stillness as they make their way down, and visually there is Hugo standing in the field, staring up at the body of the scarecrow.
Mm. I think you see, as you stare at it, it is simply just torso up. There are no legs. There's still some hay stuffed into it, but you can see just the wear and tear over 200 years. The fabric is weathered. It's simply just falling apart in ways. It's the torso itself is, I guess the best way to describe it, it's parts of it have hay within it, some of it doesn't, based on the spots that have decayed. You do see that where the posts come out through the arm sleeves to hold the scarecrow up, you do see what looks like someone took working gloves, and those still are there. They're leather, they're a bit cracked and worn, but they are still intact to some degree. And then you see the face of this scarecrow, and I think that in itself is strange, because this place is dark and gloomy. There is no sun, there's no birds truly, besides the few that are within the party here. But I think you see the scarecrow's face. There is stitching in it of a smile, which is such a juxtaposition to the way the world is right now. And the hat itself is weathered and worn. Parts of it are missing. As you kind of see this scarecrow not making eye contact, but making eye contact at you at the same time. As you just kind of stare at it, as it sits there like just a frozen sentinel overlooking this field.
If Hugo had a stomach, they would be relieving themselves right now.
Oh.
they see they can't even bend forward and heave, but they remember the sensation. And seeing this marionette that is so much like themselves right now gives them that flash of memory from back in the cave tunnel of that death of self, that endless, is it death or is it living? Nobody really would know. And even with the sickening feeling, Hugo drops her hat on the ground, their staff on the ground, and they very clumsily, because as they walk, their foot bends and trips in this sort of weakness of body as they just begin to untie this torso and this smiling figure from its eternal post.
Yeah. As you begin to pull the threads, there's staples that hold it in there. There's an effort to pull them down, but Hugo, as you pull at this, I am gonna, for this moment, could I have you make a strength check for me here?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let me know if it's with hope or fear.
Let's see. Oh my god, it's been so long since we've... Where are my D12s? Where are you? Where's the other one? Okay. Well, that is with hope. It's a 6 and a 2, so it's just 8, but it is
8.
with hope. Yeah.
Okay, with hope. As you pull at this, it takes time, effort. If Hugo could breathe, I think they would feel just that effort that's put into this. And as you pull on it, I think with that 8, it takes a little bit of time, but as the staples pull out, you can feel just like it pulling against your own fabric, your own fabric there. But
they keep trying, even if it rips at their fabric, at the burlap.
Yeah,
I think at this point it's desperate.
Mm-hmm.
It's a desperate tug.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So as you pull and pull, that desperation hitting you, I think we would see Elanor made an instinct roll a second ago in this moment to kind of try and track where Hugo might have gone. And I think, Elanor, you would have seen the familiar path, the kind of the indentations of Hugo's staff in the ground. Because I imagine, I don't want to assume, Hugo probably uses to plant to move with the staff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think you would see little spots of that. And as you kind of get to that field portion, you would see the scarecrow, and you would see Hugo in desperation pulling it down in that moment.
Just trying and trying. Just trying to get this thing out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Cody, you muted.
It happens to us all.
Damn it! I think in a mirrored sense, Elanor stands as a silent spectator of a different kind of this scene, while Hugo watched her at her emotional lowest. I think she sits there in what she assumes is their emotional lowest, unable to really understand the feeling of seeing somebody that looks like you strung up like that. And so she doesn't know whether to help, whether to leave, whether to really what to do. And there's just this ping of sadness before finally she walks over and she takes out one of her short swords and begins helping to pick out the staples. She doesn't know why, she doesn't understand, or at least she thinks she understands, but she's just gonna come over and start helping.
Elanor, you don't have to do this. It's fine.
She's just gonna keep going.
You should be resting.
She keeps going. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Go ahead.
As she finally undoes all the staples and she kind of catches it before it falls and helps Hugo rest it on the ground before taking Hugo in her arms.
This isn't me.
No.
Everything feels so hopeless.
I'm sorry.
I think I saw myself.
It's not you.
In another life, in another way, it would be. And maybe this is what I've been my entire life. Someone who watches. Who doesn't do anything. And this is a second chance. A second chance at doing something. And the cruel reality of it is that I get to do it all over in a body that's not my own.
I've seen you do things. Granted, I've only known you in this body. You said in another life, but it is not this life. In this life, you're a protector. You're a confidant. You're a scholar. And you're a friend. Watcher is not a word that I would use to describe you.
I'm scared that this is it for me. That this is what I'm due.
I know that sensation all too well. In a different capacity, of course. Only you get to decide who you are, Hugo.
Hugo has been slowly digging at the ground as this conversation has been happening. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be seen as this thing.
Elanor will start, because I think she's picking up what Hugo's putting down in regards to the digging, and so she's gonna start help digging as well. What would you like to be seen as?
I don't know, a person? And I know people do. I've been told plenty, even you've said it, Róisín has said it. Yara, Cordy, Thessalus, everyone has said it. Tegwin has said it. I just don't believe it myself. It's not everyone else, it's...
You.
Yes.
Like I said, I don't know what it's like to be in a body I don't see as my own. I'm fortunate in that sense, however. You see me as a good person, do you not?
Of course.
I don't see myself as such. Every time I look down at my hands, I see them covered in blood. Every time I look down at my hands, every time I look at Cordy, I see the book that I assume I stole from him. No matter what others say, no matter how hard you try to believe them, I understand you will continue to hear that other voice that sounds like your own, that convinces you otherwise. And I wish I could give you advice and tell you how to block it out. I think all of us could use that advice in some way or form. But I don't. In one's battles with the inner demons and angels, I think for the first time in a long time, you have the makings to help your better angels win. It's not going to be easy. I don't think any amount of forced manifestations or gratitude speakings, don't remember the words really, but I think if there's any way that I can help at least make that voice a little bit quieter, I will do so.
And the moment that Elanor says that, Hugo is laying the scarecrow on this shallow makeshift grave. There is no rhyme or reason for this decision. It's more something for themselves, for them to have some catharsis in putting to rest a endless sentinel and allowing some form of acceptance to be built within them. And as they begin to cover the grave in the dirt, and if you remind me of that, then I'll keep reminding you that you are a good person.
Are there any flowers in this field that we're in? I think after kind of helping Hugo bury the sentinel for a while, Elanor will kind of glance around before going to find flowers and kind of just picking up like a little bouquet of them. And she'll come back and she'll kind of split them into two and give one to Hugo and keep one herself. And kind of look over the makeshift grave. I'm pretty good at keeping my promises. I try to, at least. I hope someday that this promise leads to us seeing each other the way we see one another. And she's going to take one flower and keep it separate from her bouquet. And she's going to kneel down and put her bouquet gently on the grave and kind of in Elvish say a blessing before standing up and putting the remaining blue dahlia in Hugo's hat. I see you as a person, Hugo. I see you as a protector, as I see this individual as one. And may you never, ever, while you are under my protection, feel the bonds that this individual did.
Hugo will hug Elanor unprompted.
When you are ready, and she's saying this as they're hugging, like Elanor will not be the first to let go, doing a little bit of the Disney performer rule, will not be the first one to let go here. When you are ready, we have made a few decisions that we are not going to carry out until we hear your opinion on. And you and I can discuss this between the two of us before we get to the others, if you'd like to mentally prepare for that, or...
All right. Yes, we can discuss it. That's fine.
Okay. Do you need a little bit longer by yourself, or are you ready to head back? I have to go hunt a little bit, but I won't go too far away this time, I promise.
You're going to hunt by yourself?
She's gonna glance around.
Absolutely not. You're not going by yourself. Not again.
I am sure Thessalus is probably somewhere nearby, just waiting for me to emerge from the field. I'm surprised he hasn't even stumbled upon us now. But I will be nearby whenever you're ready. We can discuss what was said before we join the group.
There is a creeping smile that you can see. This sort of, not blank. Hugo's face, of course, has expression, but as most often that you see, their mouth is sort of a hard line. But as you start mentioning Thessalus, there's like this kind of quiet little creeping smile.
Amazing.
I think somewhere up on like the porch of the house, his helmet, kind of his body facing a different direction, but definitely within the range where he's looking over at them. He's like kind of leaning against the post or something. Yeah. Nowhere near close up to hear or like really know exactly what's happening, just enough that he's aware of where the two of them are somewhere out there.
Yeah. Amazing. So as you kind of lean up against the post there, we'll kind of push away from Elanor and Hugo there for a moment, and kind of as we see that, what would we find? I know Thessalus is kind of waiting there in the moment, but just to give everybody a little beat in all that has happened today. Where would we find Cordy? Where would we find Doc, Róisín after that conversation here? Just to kind of get a general beat on where everybody's at.
I think Doc is really trying to set up the house for people to like find a place to lay for the night, finding where any like old linens or blankets are, so that people can have a blanket so they're not cold in the night. Just making sure that everyone's comfortable, because this is ultimately their home.
Yeah. I think you, the Qatari comes over and he's grabbing blankets from you, and he says, my name is Arturo. It's nice to meet you. The
pleasure's all mine. It's nice to meet you as well.
Of course. And he starts grabbing them and handing them out to people. You see him walk over. The little old gnomish lady, he walks over and wraps a blanket around her, and she just like pats his hand. You just see kind of in that, as you pass them out to people, the dwarvish woman, she looks up at you, and she takes the blanket and gives you a little squeeze on your hand, and everybody seems quite grateful in this moment. Pretty quiet, but just glad to not be stone.
I think definitely seeing the old gnomish lady, there's like a, I don't know if like jealousness is the word, but like a hint of like longing.
Oh. Yeah, she's a few hundred years old. This gnomish lady. Yeah. But yeah, as you kind of have that moment there, we will kind of move through the house. Where would he find Cordy and Róisín?
I think Cordy is kind of sitting in a corner somewhere with his book, just kind of writing things out and trying to begin his experimentations and theories in his head. And then at the same time, he's got like some kind of item. We'll say it's like a small like die or something like that he's throwing up in the air, and every time it comes down, prestidigitation turns it a different color, and he throws it back up, and it different color when it comes back down. But yeah.
Hell yeah. I think as you throw the dice up and down, Phillips is sitting on the desk. His eyes are just going up and down.
Love it.
Following. And what about Róisín? What are we...
I think Róisín will walk up to where Cordy is, and he'll just pick up Philip in one hand and in the other begin conjuring a little rose to begin feeding him. So, did I miss anything important?
Not quite. Just there's just a lot going on, trying to figure out where we fit.
Where we fit and where?
The grand scheme of all of it. There's just so many threads.
I know. Isn't
Not
it
enough
wonderful?
needles.
All the endless possibilities. And what will you do?
Why didn't you tell me?
I was planning on it. Partially, I didn't want anyone to worry. And partially, I didn't want anyone else to risk coming down with much the same. It was a burden that I can manage, and one that I was willing to prevent anyone else from bearing.
But look, I mean, I've seen what it can do. I saw it on the corpse in the outpost. It's easier to find a way to get rid of it when I know it exists, you know? So
I suppose I can see the logic in that.
I'm working on it. I'll try to get with Tegman later to see what she knows as well. But until then, you stay guarded. Okay? Because they're gonna swarm you, alright? It's gonna be bad. I've seen the way it goes in a vision. It's not pretty.
I know. And I got impaled again today on top of it all.
I feel like that's just a Tuesday.
I know, why does this keep happening to me of all things? It's just like everyone and everything want to get inside me.
Okay, now. All right.
I'm sorry, I had to make that joke. Still, if you're going to be glued to my side from now on, there is something else I need to take care of today. I
What?
believe you'd be able to help me out.
I
Care
mean,
to go on a wee bit of an adventure?
Well, I mean, sure, I'd love to help. I do think we should maybe, tell everyone where we're going. And there's been enough secrecy, I think. I'd like to keep it. I like these people. I'd like to keep us all together.
We'll tell Yara.
And
Well, Thessalus is busy brooding at the moment. And who knows where Hugo and Elanor are, so...
all right.
I bet we could
At least
sneak out
with-
tonight.
So sneak out tonight. What are we doing?
Nothing too bad, we're just going to deal with the body.
We're going to what?
I figured you'd be quite into that.
I mean, I'm no stranger to corpses, but what are you talking about?
Well, I don't just want to leave my grandmother rotting down there.
Ah, I see. Okay. Well,
Seems kind of rude.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
like
what are
nothing will
you?
make it a whole brouhaha with everyone.
Well, what are you kind of? What do you want to do with her remains? Because I could, look into accelerating the decay process, or.
Well, that's exactly what I was hoping for, actually.
Ah, good. Okay. Yes. All right. Then you need to get into the right mindset to feed the web. So.
Tell me what I need. I'll be happy to provide.
It's a mind. Look, Róisín, it's a mindset, okay? You're giving back to the land. You have to understand the reverence of that.
Oh, I have difficulty holding reverence for anything, but if it's the cycle of life and death, I'm quite familiar with it by now.
Oh, I get it, because we've... Okay, yes. All right. Well, again, I know you've already been marked, but should anything else happen, just tell us, all right?
All right. I suppose.
All right.
Also,
Just,
part of me does like that. Apparently, I'll now get extra attention from everyone.
From the Tenebris, I believe is what you mean to say. Because I think no one else is going to give you much extra attention.
But he just said everyone was going to be keeping an eye out for me. And that
No,
I should
I
stick
said
by
you need.
them.
No, yes, I said you need to stick by everyone. No one else. It's not their responsibility. You need to make sure you're safe. All right.
I know, but it's good for my safety if everyone is paying attention to me at the very least.
Yes,
Kind of goes a bit both ways.
it does.
Wouldn't
I
you
would
say
ho-
so, Cordelius?
I would hope we're all paying attention to each other.
It goes
Yes?
both ways?
I'd hope we'd all be paying attention to each other, says one of the people that didn't acknowledge that Hugo left the room in the middle of the conversation.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
I got nothing to say to that.
as
To
you
be
two,
fair, I did do that after the conversation. I won't take credit for that. Can't blame anyone over that.
oh my gosh. So as you two kind of have that conversation there about going to back to the body down in the grave there, and Doc is helping pass out blankets and linens to make sure people are taken care of in this moment. Thessalus kind of leaning up against the post, brooding outside, waiting for Elanor there. We see Elanor with Hugo kind of finishing, placing the bouquet of flowers down, getting up and kind of walking towards the direction where Thessalus might be. Hugo still taking a moment by themselves. We're going to head into a bit of a long rest situation and kind of tie in those things that people would like to do within the long rest and any other conversations that might want to be had. But with that, before we get into kind of our long rest actions here, let's take a break. Thanks for tuning in to The Last Arcanist. We return next Thursday with episode 19 as the group prepares for a long rest and gets ready for their trek to the Gloom Peak Sierras, where they hope to stop the Dread Domain from being created. But until then, take care out there, drink the water, eat the food, and come escape the mundane with us in the Realms of Atalantia every Thursday. Bye-bye!